I I I can't even start properly because just you can't script that any better, folks. You can't script that any better. I don't care if I'm messing up the intro right now. You cannot script this any better. This is unbelievable what we are seeing from this young Montreal Canadiens team. But nonetheless, welcome everybody. Good evening. It's a live post-game show of the Curfew Boys on YouTube and Twitter, also known as X. If you're tuning in, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. Hopefully just as much fun as the 21,000 plus at the Bell Center tonight, Thursday, October 16th, 2025. The Canadiens, they just have a notion for theater. They just love the drama. They just love they you know what I mean. They think, oh no, this is gonna go bad. It's like, oh, hold on a sec. Gotcha. They're pulling the strings of our hearts, but this time they're coming out with an actual victory, 3-2 in overtime against the Nashville Predators. I am Sammy. He is my cousin Chris. Hey now.
Now,
How are you? How's your heart? How are the organs? Are the organs still functioning? Is the heartbeat back to regular, or is it still past the 200 BPMs?
it's still through the roof. I mean, it's been a big week for the heart. There have been a lot of tests, but yeah, what an amazing game. Uh, Cole Caulfield, and on top of Cole Caulfield, the Bell Center is becoming a weapon, an absolute weapon
Mm-hmm.
of the Montreal Canadiens. It is a hostile environment to come in. You want to know what? It's the first time in years that I
Mm-hmm.
heard Ole chants
Mm-hmm.
from the crowd, even though they were a little bit on the weaker side. Ole chants with them trailing the game. With them trailing the game. The
Yep.
Ole chant is symbolic of them dominating. Like there is belief in that building, not only in the crowd, but on the bench. What a comeback. What an amazing
This
game.
is this.
This one is instantaneously one of the games of the season. We will be talking about this at the end of the season when we're doing the
Well,
recap. Hopefully after the Montreal Canadiens won the Stanley Cup, right?
you gotta believe, man. You gotta believe. Before we get into talks about the game, just a big shout out to our sponsors. We'll start off with Habs Cave, our buddy Sunil. For sure, he was there. Our boy Anthony was there too. Lucky bastard. Give Sunil a follow. Habs Cave on Instagram or Twitter. An amazing person. Amazing content with pretty much every Habs fan's dream to have a Habs Cave at home. Give him a follow. Give him some love. He's an absolutely great person. Also sponsored by my buddy Mike from Mike's Barbecue Rub. He is a Canadian company, obviously from our hometown of RDP, where he creates his own barbecue spices for anything such as vegetables, meat, fish. If you can put it on the grill, you definitely need to try Mike's Barbecue Rub. He also uses his own spices, to season his very own kettle chips, which I will enjoy myself throughout this episode. I'll try my best not to hear the crunching sound through the microphone. I'll try to mute it while Chris speaks. But these are absolutely amazing. So
They're amazing. They are
give my
amazing.
boy Mike a follow. Give him some love on either Instagram or TikTok. For more information, you can follow him. No, excuse me. You can visit mikesbarbecuerub.com for more information. Like I said, he delivers anywhere in Canada. Support local folks. But last and not least, don't forget to rub your meat. Which pretty much a lot of us are probably going to do tonight after this victory. And last but not least, Les Délices Lafreniere. You know what? Some of the best pastries in town, honestly. Wedding cakes. We're Italian. We love cannolis. Like I said, especially during the month of March, Zeppelis. So visit any one of their 6 locations in Rosemere, Brossard, Saint Julie, Montreal West, Pointe Claire, and also our hometown, Saint Leonard. For more information, visit lesdeleslafrenette.com. They are simply delicious, simplement délicieux. Good evening, everybody. I see quite a few comments coming in through the Cliff, Jesse, Marco, Elias. What a game! What a game! What a finish! You don't quit. You don't quit. You don't quit. The thing about this game, Chris, and folks that are listening, like the Nashville Predators, like I think the average age is like 100. By the way, like full of like excellent veterans, but like their big name players are like 35 and up. Stamkos, Marchessault, Forsberg, Ryan O'Reilly, Roman Yossi, like those are big names, but my goodness, they're getting old. They're really getting old, but I really felt the Canadiens, like this was one of those games where the Canadiens really needed to take advantage of their youth, their speed, and you saw it for a good part of the game. But one of the habits they have to try breaking a little bit. It's still early in the season, 5 games in. Sometimes, man, the best plays are the most simplest plays out there, and that's how Oliver Kapanen got his goal to tie it up at 1, right? I like for the most part what I saw tonight. There was a couple players out there I really thought had a good forechecking game, a good back checking game. Like I really thought Kirby Doc probably didn't
Mhm.
notice much of him, but his forechecking and his stick checking was actually very good. Like him in the third period, he caused a turnover deep in the zone that led to a power play, and the second power play unit was actually on that one was actually the best one. Like I don't know how Demidov, Liney, and even Dobson didn't get the scoring, but no, honestly, I think Marty is extremely happy in the no quit effort of his guys, but I also think he needs to just, and like I said, I know it's still early, but there's one thing he always said is like, yes, we worked hard, but sometimes we worked hard in the wrong places. I felt like they kind of did that a little bit tonight.
Yeah, I would say maybe they worked in the wrong places. If you're lining me up to pinpoint exactly where, um, I think it's not a question of. I don't think this is a question of picking on the Canadians. I think this is just a young team that went up against a bunch of vets who were
Mm,
doing everything in their power to slow down the game. Because if you saw the first 5 minutes of the game, the Canadians were absolutely flying. And
they were.
when that game started to slow down, that's where I would say the Montreal Canadiens, rather than I don't wanna say rather than playing their game, they fell into that old school veteran style of play where they slowed down their respective game and they found themselves more in board battles and puck battles and stuff like that, which is naturally going to fall into the favor of the Nashville Predators. So if that would be my best assumption as to how they're working hard, but not necessarily um, in the best possible way.
Hmm.
I will say something that you just brought up too. I want to get the negatives out of the way because there's just I want this show to be positive. It absolutely deserves to be positive.
Yeah.
But,
I don't
folks,
think it's negatives though, but yeah, go ahead.
well, it's 5 seasons in 5 seasons. We are 5 seasons in, but, it's 5 games
Yeah.
into the season.
Yes.
I'm losing patience for this first, power play unit already.
Hmm.
Demidov, like,
Okay. Okay.
I find that the second unit, as much as they have not played necessarily badly, I do find that Demidov has been finding passing, like incredible passing lanes. And I find that Slavkovsky and Boldzuk are almost stepping over one another and invading each other's space on that first power play unit. I just think, we spoke so much about it in the offseason about having two balanced power plays. At this already this early on, I'm ready to say, what about having an absolutely lethal first unit that stays a minute and a half on the ice? That's where I'm leaning. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
It's
just think that there's one too many guys. It's have your pick, Bud Zerk or Slav. I would strangely enough probably lean towards Slav being taken off that first unit, which is a very hard call to make. And even something as much as I just said that, I think that's something that still should be reflected upon and not just taken lightly.
It's the big question I have is, do you want to put all your power on the first power play unit so you're more likely to get a goal than not, or do you want to have two very well balanced power play units? That's I don't even have an answer. I don't
Mhm.
have an answer. I really don't, because I want to be, because I felt like these past years, especially last year with Line, and then even before Demidov and Bolduc came into the picture, we could even throw in Noah Dobson. It was just that one power play which was working because of Line's shot. Now I feel like we have a great opportunity to have, because if the first one doesn't work, like last season, I think we I think it's a general feeling that, like, if it didn't work on the first power play unit, the second one that came on, we're like, okay, whatever. Like, most like it's not going to happen. This time, it's completely different. I feel like, okay, the first power play is not working, the second one's coming, but we still have something, and we saw it last game with Line and Demidov, like lighting up the Bell Center, and they almost did it again tonight. They really, really did. This time, those that one play. I get why Demidov made a backhand pass, try to get it to the point, because he figured that shot's going to have a lot more of an open net. But I felt like he had an open net too, where he just could have brought it to his
Yeah.
forehand and just flicked it in.
The one that got to
It
talking about the one that got to Gallagher for the one-time shot?
yeah, kind of.
He went
It
back
was
and
around
then it
there.
went over and it was a slap. It was towards the end of the game in the
Yeah,
3rd
yeah,
period.
exactly. It
Yeah,
was
okay.
exactly that one. Like, and again, it's a lot easier for me to judge, like, in the comfort of my couch. The game is fast, and like, it's completely different from watching it live on TV. But there was a moment there where I really thought he had it. I really thought he was there on the right side. I really thought he was going to bring it to his forehand and just flick it. And but the defense, I kind of see
Good
what,
stick on the play.
but
There was a good stick on the
there
play.
was a good stick on the play, so I get why he did it. But again, this kid he's still so young, but the poise on him is unbelievable. But back to the power play units,
Well,
I get what you're saying. I really, really do. And like, I'm gonna go back to my statement that I said maybe last episode or the one before. I want teams to fear this team on the power play. So do you do that by having two solid power play units, or do you just load all of that star power talent on the first one, where other teams are going to be like, shit, like, we need to kill this or else this is going to hurt us?
you know what? I'm gonna say the following, um, and it's gonna have an impact on, I think, both units, but, I would at least at one point of the season like to see them throw the best of the best onto the ice for the power play, for the initial power play, because I do see Hudson, Suzuki, Caulfield is not moving too much either. I think he can do it too, and definitely Demidov. I think these are guys that can play a minute and 20, a minute and a half easily. I also think they're more likely to tire out the opponents, therefore making it easier for them to again stay on the ice longer. And it's not like, again, nothing against the second unit, and I don't want that second unit to become absolutely useless. But I do think there are three engines on that first power play. If you were to have Suzuki, Demidov, and Hudson, that would be so dominant. I think that they could potentially keep control for 2 minutes. And if the other opposing team is not tired within that span of time, like I think this is an absolute perfect puck possession group that you would have on the ice that would increase the likelihood of scoring every single time. Does it take away from the second power play unit? Yes,
Oh
but there's
yeah, it
the other
does.
point that I would like to make. I think both Kapanen and possibly even Newhook might have an opportunity to get a crack. I know that Marty has clearly been giving them their respective roles, but those are two guys that I easily think can make their way onto the power play if need be. And even at that, like, you want to take Slavkovsky, you want to take Baldzerk, I think it would naturally, just for simplicity and keep the riots from starting here in Montreal, would probably be Slav that stays on the first power play unit. But I really would like to see the best unit. Kind of, we see it in every other superstar team. You think they're calling Connor McDavid off the ice? And I know I don't want to compare Connor McDavid to somebody like Cole Caulfield. But even if we were to say Cole Caulfield versus Patrick Laine, Cole Caulfield's lining them up. Like Cole Caulfield's his shot is the one
Oh
that I'm fearing
goodness.
right now. Laine has showed some signs, yes, of having good timing, good accuracy, but since the season actually started, look, full advantage to Cole Caulfield. I think he's leading the league in goals. If not, he's in second
Well,
place.
I think he's going to be in second place with Shane Pinto. I know Shane Pinto. I don't know if I don't know if they played tonight. Shane Pinto's
There's
got 5,
also
so I think.
Vegas's rookie
Oh
too,
yeah, 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 yeah,
a Russian
yeah.
name. Um, I'm loading it right now.
Yeah, yeah. I really like Dobish's game tonight. I really thought he was. I thought he was solid. I thought he was calm. I didn't find him to be like sliding all over the ice. Like sometimes he has a bit of those tendencies of doing. But yeah, I find it amazing and not in a good way how these teams. The only way they seem to score on us is if it's banked off one of our players or it goes off a guy's shin pad. Like, man, Caden Gooley, like, tried to do the right play by sliding on that power play. And, like, usually a prime Steven Stamkos, he's ripping that. He tried to make a slap pass on that one. Goes off Caden Gooley's shin goes through the 5-hole. Nothing anybody can do on that. The second goal, worried me. I'm not gonna lie. Like I got worried though. Like I couldn't believe after Kapanen tied it up just like a couple of minutes later, Nashville retakes the lead. I honestly thought Laine was doing a good back check on that. If you look at the replay, Laine's back checking. If anything, Jake Evans is the last forward back. So because that don't forget that play, Mike Matheson did a beautiful rush play. I actually thought he
Yeah.
was going to bury that, but Yossi Saros
Yeah.
made a great save.
Well, people are criticizing Matheson right now, and
No, 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 no,
I've
no, no.
criticized I've had criticisms for Mike Matheson in the past, and let me tell you, I am so happy he went on that rush. That was a high opportunity scoring chance, and whether it be Jake Evans or Patrick Laine, somebody has to get back.
Well, Jake Evans. So this is my take on this. Jake Evans is the third man back, so he has to play defense, which he kind of was, but he was caught flat footed. So Laine was actually skating back and back checking, try to catch up to the guy. Obviously, Laine's not the fastest skater. The problem was, I think Laine thought that Noah Dobson was going to cut to the left and check on that and check on the Nashville player, but he hesitated for a second. That's why Laine went left, because Laine went and get the second guy that was coming in. I think Laine really thought Dobson was going to cut in and be the guy to check the Nashville player. Gave him a bit too much room. You know what I mean? And it was a great shot underneath Dobesh's blocker. But to me, that's not exactly. I'm not really looking to blame someone. I'm not saying it's Laine's fault. It's Jake Evans' fault. It's Noah Dobson's fault. But you could clearly, it's very evident that there's just a bit of that lack of communication between the two of them, between Laine and Dobson. I think Dobson, if he's seen that Laine's going towards Dobson's right to go get the other forward, I think Dobson should have made the cut towards the left to check on the Nashville. It wasn't even a forward. I can't even pronounce his name. I forgot his name. But anyways, it's plays like that they're gonna fix. But other than that, like I actually thought Patrick Laine wasn't too bad tonight. He drew a penalty by playing defense in the zone in the first period. He made a nice play to Josh Anderson. Josh Anderson got robbed by Yossi Saros. Um, you know what I mean? There's still we're 5 games in, still no goals. He's got 1 point, 1 assist with the Demidov goal from last game. It's still early to tell what's going to happen with Patrick Laine, but I keep wondering, like, are any changes going to be made? Is it going to be stuck on that line for a good part of the season?
So this is where I'm going to say something interesting, and it ties back into the power play comments. just made earlier. Marty St. Louis openly said that he wanted to give Joe Veleno a shot.
Mhm.
I could possibly see. I know it's probably not good for Patrick Laine. That's the type
Oh,
of
okay.
player that you don't want to start messing with his head and getting him disengaged. So that's maybe not the right idea. But I have to say, the style in which the Canadians are playing, which is an extremely fast game, I could easily see Joe Veleno coming in. Joe Veleno comes in on that fourth line. You got some extra face-off support, left-handed, of course, brings a lot more speed to the game, and right then and there, you have an opportunity to shift
Okay.
around the power play lines and give it a shot. So
Okay, so
it's
that
selling it to Patrick Laine is that's the toughest task in all of this.
oh, for sure. Okay, so let's go with hypothetical, and that happens. We get the news: Joe Veleno in, Patrick Laine out. Who do you put on that second power play unit?
So the second unit would consist of Bolduc shifting over. So Bolduc would go there.
Okay.
And then I'd either have Newhook or Kapanen, but I would more lean towards Newhook because there are too many
Hmm.
righties.
Yeah.
But again, if you're putting Balzerk, that's one more lefty, one less righty, and then you have the choice between either Kapanen or um, Newhook. Again, I don't think that's such a bad power play. I still think that's pretty darn solid. You could even question whether or not you want to bring Mike Matheson and put like honest to God, everything that we have been saying from the summertime when Noah Dobson got traded here. What is this going to do for Mike Matheson? It has changed the way that he has to play the game. Even
Yeah.
Mike Matheson, not that I'm necessarily encouraging it. I let's again keep him towards his penalty killing and 5-on-5 play. But even if they wanted to bring Mike Matheson onto that second unit of the power play, they could. I know a lot of people are going to be screaming at their screens and at their speakers with me saying it. I'm just saying you have options. It doesn't automatically make the second power play bad. Uh, Again, it's just going to be a shift of the focus as to you are putting your absolute best and increasing your likelihood of scoring within that first minute to minute and a half. That's it.
Yeah, possibly. I see them. But if you notice, that first power play is like they're on the ice for like almost a minute and a half. It's crazy. Like early on in the game, the second power play, they had like what 30 seconds, not even. I think at one point they had maybe 35 seconds or, anyways. But
That's it.
I think we got a call. We got a call. Yeah, we got a call about Cole Caulfield. Yeah, we got to talk about Cole Caulfield. Um, ties Max Pacioretty for overtime wins with 10 goals, 10 overtime game winning goals. I think that puts him, he's tied for second. I
No,
think
he's tied
Elliott
for first. I think it's Joe.
tied for,
I don't know if it was Joe Malone and
I
Max
saw Howie,
Pacioretty.
I saw Howie Morenz's, yeah,
Howie
yeah.
Moren's not Joe
Okay,
Malone. Okay, so then
tied for
it's
first. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
But he's done in less games too. A
a
lot more,
lot less.
a lot more less games. Yeah, there goes my English. No, what a Lane Hudson turned quarterback. Unbelievable,
Kid, this
Un,
kid.
unbelievable. Can you freaking?
Think he's thinking about the contract.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Preds were going to score in the empty net. Thought it was over until it was the Lane and Cole show. That was insane. That was bananas.
Yeah.
Madness. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I don't want to steal Carey Price's words, but I guess you could say it's believable. That
It's
overtime was that overtime was insane too.
yeah.
My
Yeah,
goodness, they had so many chances in overtime. In
Nick
overtime, that's
Suzuki.
Knicks. th-
He
okay,
he had a
yes,
lot of
yes, yes.
opportunities to bury tonight, and unfortunately, it wasn't going his way. He didn't have the best puck luck tonight. I'm not saying that he played a bad game. It just average Nick Suzuki, pots maybe 1 or 2 goals tonight, um, has a better game in terms of scoring. Leave it at that.
That's that is true. When Nashville went on the 2-0, my heart sank. I'm like, oh my god, and I knew that was gonna happen as soon as I saw. I think it
Slap
was
fall.
Slav, but no, but Slav was going in for the rebound and 5-on-5.
Lane
Yeah, that's
Hudson.
what you do,
Lane Hudson was just like
dude.
straight
When-
flew out of the offensive zone to get back to the defensive zone. And look, I don't know what Nashville was doing. I'm sure their coach is giving them a talking to, because a 2-on-0 in overtime with plenty of time, and those guys just dragged their feet. Lane Hudson, man, he put in the effort, caught up, and I think he caught the guys by surprise, and they ended up kind of like, oh shit, like let's rush the play, and then Dobesh, great save, just
oh my
stayed
god,
nice and calm in his
I
net.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Usually a 2 on. But I don't know what Nashville was thinking. I forgot who those two players were. I don't know. I don't know how they weren't like, okay, we're gonna do it. Like, sometimes they do tic-tac-toe passing plays. Did nothing. The guy was like just coming in. He was like, "What do I do? Want me to shoot?
Oh,
Do I
Lane's here.
you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, shoot." Like Dobesh just right here, buddy. And dude, when he tried to give out a pass afterwards,
yeah.
oh my god, I was certain he got it, but I look. I don't know what the rule is exactly, but I don't think I don't know if a goalie's allowed to go
As far.
as pass or at least past the what you call it, the ringette line, but the years of the circles.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know. He was trying to pass it with his glove. Like,
Yep.
I don't know if a goalie's allowed to use a stick at that point. Anyways, it's remember when Patrick Waugh came out like all the way
Yeah, the
out.
halfway,
Yeah.
the spinorama too.
I thought Dobich was going to do that at one point, but no. In all honesty, as soon as that save happened, that's when I thought, I'm like, okay, no, they got this. Like, I just had that feeling. Like, Dobesh made that save on a 2-on-0. It's like, no, okay, there's no way the Canadiens are losing. I would not have wanted to been in that building though. Anthony just said the building was louder than the playoffs.
My God. My God. No, I believe him. The building, like I'm going back to the first statement that I made. It was a Thursday night. Um, yeah, okay, Thursday night for certain people. Here we call it, for those from out of town, we'll call it a jeudi. So jeudi is Thursday, vendredi is Friday. Jeudi is the combination of both of them, Thursday and Friday, and usually it's a night of celebration. Nevertheless, people go out, they get drinks, they enjoy a little bit more. But all that to say is, even for a Thursday night, people have work tomorrow, people have school tomorrow. They showed up to that place, and man, did they bring the energy. And the Bell Center, like, they keep saying it. Last game they said it with Demidov's goal, where the place just popped, and then it popped twice tonight with the time goal, with 16 seconds left, and then the game-winning goal with what 3 seconds left in overtime. All that to say is that it's the energy is palpable. It is overflowing onto the ice, and fans are like that excitement of what's to come is here already. And we keep talking about whether or not this is going to be an attractive place to play. I couldn't care. Like, they say Nashville is a noisy building, and yeah, it is. But even for their players, I'm sure they come here tonight and they just are like, "What kind of a savage fan base did we
There-
just interact with that brought that much energy on a Thursday night?"
you can't tell me that the league isn't taking notice of this. And when I say the league, I mean like teams and players all around the league. There's no way in hell anybody can convince us that nobody is looking at this right now. Like,
Yep.
already last game, home opener, analysts everywhere on all platforms are like, nobody does it better than Montreal. Nobody does it better than Montreal. Then that Demidov goal, just the way he scored it, like the patience, the poise, tied up for a rookie at the age of 19, 20, for him to do that. Cole Caulfield's goal. I look forward to seeing what the guys at Overdrive podcast have to say about the Montreal Canadiens tonight. Like, I don't know why I'm picking on Leafs fans, but like, they're not feeling good about this Montreal Canadiens team. They really, really aren't, man. So
As well they should.
as
As well they should.
like everywhere, guys on overdrive, guys. I love Steve Dangles, even though he's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I think he's low key a Habs fan. He's just not saying anything. I think he's,
I
but
I have I've had freaking harsh words for Leafs fans. He's one of the few that I actually respect because I would say on the overall, he knows his hockey. I'm not saying that he knows what goes on because he was like they were in left field with the contract talks for Lane Hudson. That was just another Leafs fan source that was just saying, "Oh, Lane Hudson is never going to take and their problems and blah 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 and all this." That was maybe information that he got. Fine, whatever. Put that aside. The man knows his hockey. It's not for nothing that Sportsnet approaches the guy and asks him whether or not he wants to call the game in the playoffs. The guy has something good going for him, and yeah, that man is not stupid. He knows what's coming, and he's already been calling it on the Steve Dangle podcast network. I think it's called. But good on Steve.
yeah.
Welcome,
Well,
welcome to the light side. We're always welcoming new fans. Steve, get your Habs jersey back on. Come right on over. We'll welcome you with open arms, and we'll
so
actually satisfy your hockey winning needs.
so I'm looking at the calendar from last year in October. Um, in the first 5 games, the Canadiens were 2-3. Now they're 4-1. It's the
Leading the
start.
East,
Pardon me.
leading the East Conference
Well,
for now. At least they're
no,
they're
no,
number one.
but in all honesty, like the most recent news somewhere else in the league for the Ottawa Senators not having Brady Tkachuk for 6 weeks, the Florida Panthers not having Barkov, even though they're obviously the defending. Oh my goodness, the defending Stanley Cup champions. Take your time, Sammy. They don't have Barkov, they don't have Tkachuk, but they just have a great lineup altogether. Tampa Bay is kind of they're doing okay. I think Boston is doing all right. It's actually Detroit that's doing better than
Yeah,
probably
well,
what they expected. Uh, the Canadiens need to take advantage of that. And they have to take advantage of it at the start of the season. Right now, so we always said what? Give them 15, 20 games to kind of more or less judge where they could finish. Last year was not a good example because they're at the bottom of the league and we all thought it was over from then and there. Look what happened. Buffalo is Buffalo. Thank you, Elias, for that. We're gonna have to put that up there. Somebody rescue Rasmus Dahlin, please. Somebody get Rasmus Dahlin out of Buffalo, please. We'll take him if we have to. I don't know at what price, but I would take Rasmus Dahlin in my sleep. Anyways, he's one of my favorite defensemen. That poor bastard is just slowly dying on the inside with Buffalo.
Mhm,
And if you want to throw in
mhm.
Tage Thompson in there too, no problem. But the Canadiens have to take advantage of of other teams that have their best players hurt. It's business. So, but yeah, no. So far, top of the league, 6 points. They're actually tied with Detroit, Boston, and Toronto. Toronto.
No, we're at 8 points, my friend.
You're right. We're at 8 points. Excuse me. This app was not
Look how
updated.
beautiful that does that look,
It looks
sitting
good.
right at
It
number
looks it
one.
looks it looks very good. So we're 5 games in, 4-1. So like I said, about a third to a quarter of a way done to really see and feel where this team is heading. But right now, they're putting on a show. They're putting on a show. The difference, and this is part of the progression that we wanted to see. Games like this last year, maybe they're losing in overtime, or maybe they're losing by one like they have last year. It's different this time around. And I don't care if it's just 5 games in, it's different this time around. They're finding ways to win. Okay. They're finding ways to win. And I'll throw an olive branch. Let's say they lost against Seattle, and even tonight, they're against Western teams. You lose that 1 point. It's okay. And as much as I'm pumped and I'm happy and I'm thrilled, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna be celebrating. Now I really want to see them. I really want to see them now, like grab a lead, hold a lead, and take from there. And especially against teams that are supposed to be better than them in their own division and within their own conference. Somebody's backstage. I guess he rushed home because he wanted to be with us more than he wanted to be at the Bell Center.
What's happening? I lost my voice. Lost my fucking voice.
You lost your voice? So don't speak, dude. Okay, ciao. See ya. I'm kidding.
What a game.
Tell us, like,
tell us how you really feel.
What was the atmosphere like, dude? Like, you lost your voice? Did you lose your hearing too?
Lost everything. Look, the first two periods. I don't know.
I lost my house. I lost my wife. I lost my keys.
Is my mic working properly? I think so, right?
Your mic is working properly for a guy who can't speak right now. Who lost his voice.
We're live. Just all the technical difficulties are scheduled to happen right now.
Listen, the first two periods. I don't know. I didn't catch the whole episode. I was watching you guys at the bit while driving back. I didn't catch the beginning, so I don't know what you guys said. I don't want to repeat anything. But first two periods, very defensive. They boxed it in, both teams, right? And then they just explode in the third period. The only negative thing I want to say, I don't know if you guys brought this up, is our power play. I think.
Well, we brought up how the second power play unit is better, and we raised the question. Everything's working kind of so far, but is it time to change it? Do you want to throw all of your weapons on the first power play, even though the second power play looked better? Maybe you raised a good question, Anthony. Could there be a time where, like, if after let's say out of the Canadiens get 3 power plays, the first 2, it's obviously the first power play that goes out. Not much is really happening. Should Marty start his second power play unit this time around?
But I thought that was going to happen in the third period after the first 2 power plays, when you saw that your second power play unit had better chances with only 45 seconds, right? Because the second power play unit only got on when there was 30 to 45 seconds left. And within those 30-second fucking timeline, you have more chances than your first power play unit. So I expected the last power play in the third period that he would have, woke up and changed it up. But I think the only negative thing I have to say about Marty, which could be negative and not negative, but whatever, however you want to say it, he's too patient. He wants to give these players that chance. He doesn't want to throw in the towel too fast. And I get it. You want to give them the opportunity to show themselves, but after 3 power plays,
he's giving them the reps. He wants them to have the reps.
Yeah, but anyways, I think, if your first power play unit is going to be on the ice for a whole minute, a minute and a half, throw in all your weapons at the first minute and a half, and then the last 45 seconds, your second power play unit. And it's not that our second power, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can play around with these lines that you can still have a good second power play unit for the last 30 seconds that could potentially score. You could put Gallagher on that second unit with Newhook or whatever, right? We have that opportunity.
That's what Chris said.
It literally took most of the words out of my mouth. You're repeating the exact
sorry
same
if I'm
things.
repeating myself.
No. It's good. We're on the same page. If you're only going to give those guys a little fragment of time, and that's, it's not really much, then might as well increase your likelihood of scoring with that first wave, and that's with the best of the best. So,
yeah. But, and you know what? Another thing, I don't know if you guys brought this up. Again, sorry if I'm repeating myself to all our listeners out there, but, I kept saying to a friend of mine who I was with, fucking Nashville's very good defensively. They're big guys. They're knowing how to box us in. But if you look at the shots on goal in all 3 periods, it was 6-4-4, 6-6-4. You guys were, and Marty said this in his press conference. I know I was listening to the press conference while you guys were live.
I didn't listen to it. I'm going to listen to it after we're done recording.
We are very patient in our defensive zone when we touch the puck first and when we're second to touch, right? When the other team, guys, I said this in the chat over here. We have what we're watching on the ice right now. And I know it's only 4 games. I'm not jumping the gun and saying we're winning the cup or anything, but what we're watching is pure art. Like, the patience these players have, the passes. Remember those conversations, those arguments we had with Joey? We want elite talent. We want elite talent. We want elite talent. We're finally seeing the elite on the ice. These passes are fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
We're finally entering the zone without dump and fucking chase.
Well, I like the passing plays. I felt tonight within the first two periods was a little
many
too much
passes.
of.
Too
It
many
was
passes.
they were trying to find the perfect play where there was times like just
Shoot the fucking puck.
gotta
Yes.
shoot, and that's how Kapanen scored. Like God bless Lane Hudson, the skills and talent he has on at the blue line, and his head fakes and his shimmies, and he just goes around everybody. The one time he decides not to do it and just put the puck on net, you had the tying goal right there.
Yeah.
Oliver Cap. I want to ask you this, Ed. You saw Nashville go on a 2-0 in overtime. What the hell were you thinking then and there?
Because what pissed me off was, let's go back to the second goal of Nashville, right? Exactly the same moment where we attack the net, we almost score, and then that counter, because we're missing that defensive unit, and then they countered on that opportunity and they scored the 2-1 goal. I felt that same feeling in overtime. So we all crashed the net, and I get it. Hudson had to go forward at that moment because we had that perfect opportunity. And if we would have fucking scored that goal, forget it, But that mistake of everybody crashing the net in an overtime 3-on-3, you're giving the other team that opportunity to counter and have a breakaway. So when I saw that 2-0, I'm like, fuck, man, we came this far. Let's not lose this way. And like you said live before, why weren't they passing the puck? He had so much time. That Nashville player, whoever he was, he had so much time. And what does he do? He just gives Dobej that opportunity to save that puck with a shot. So, fuck. I'm happy he's an idiot. And he did that. So when Dobej saved it, and then, and you said it before, we don't know what the rules are. Why did he whistle? Because that was going to be a 2-on-1.
But you know what? Good on Dobej for having the awareness of creating it. Like, of course he would. But yeah, can you
I'm
imagine?
Sorry.
Can you imagine?
I said it last episode, and I know you guys are not ready to accept this yet. Maybe it's gonna come, but maybe not now. But I feel safer with Dobej and nets. I said it today. I feel so comfortable with him there.
5
I'm
games
sorry,
in,
I
we're
said
already
it.
have a goalie controversy. Okay,
but I said this 2 games ago. I said it 3 games ago,
I know.
and I'm saying it again. And I'm not disrespecting Monty. I'm not at all, guys. I love the guy, and when he has that consistent play, he's a superstar. But Dobej, he's just so calm, and I don't know.
He was calm tonight. Yeah, he was. No, it's we have. I'm not. We have a good problem on our hands if you want to look at it that way. But this is once again, what does Marty do on Saturday against the Rangers? I like this. Joey Chestnut. Well, actually, Dobej 35 games. Okay. That gives.
I think
that gives Monty 47.
Chris,
No,
you're Marty. Who you choose on Saturday?
If I'm Marty, then I'm choosing Monty because I know Marty, and Marty doesn't want to be having to answer these stupid media questions that are gonna really get him frustrated and distract the team. Because I don't think Monty and I don't think Dobej care about who's getting more starts. I think they care about, are we winning? And both of those guys, they park their ego at the door and they're ready to play. I think this is going to be more of a media frenzy question. This is not a problem between
friendly debate. Friendly debate.
But still, I would put in, if I'm Marty, I'm putting in Jakub Dobej. The guy has let in 3 goals in 2 games. I also think that he's just been that reassuring presence.
Doesn't he have a winning streak since from last season?
Robert says Dobej on Saturday.
Yeah, it's for me, it's an easy decision. That is Dobej. I don't know. So how about you guys?
Okay, well, look, because the next 2 games at home before they go on a Western road trip right away. We're so used to them going on the West like later on in the season. Rangers on Saturday, Buffalo Sabres on Monday.
You put Monty on Saturday night. He's your number 1. If he's established your number 1 goalie, then yes.
But you know what I would. But you know what I would do. Peu importe, I'm speaking in French. No matter what the result is on Saturday, I would put Dobesh Monday night against the Sabres. And then you go into Alberta. You're facing Calgary on Wednesday.
That's
and
3
then
games.
and then 24 hours you're facing the Oilers.
Yeah, that's Wednesday,
So,
Thursday, Saturday. We have a full week next week, so
oh yeah, and
you
then
gotta
and then
split it.
there's Saturday in Vancouver. Thank God it's a 7 p.m. Eastern time in Vancouver, all the way out on the West Coast. No, this is a bit of yeah, like what do you do? What do you do? Do you put because I mean, look, if let's say Marty puts Monty for the next 2 games at home, I think you gotta put in Dobesh Wednesday against Calgary, and then Monty again 24 hours later against the Oilers. That's my take. I mean, is he going to do that? I don't know. I would honestly do for now. I would do Monty Saturday, Dobesh Monday, and then after that you decide who gets to start against Calgary. Whoever gets to start against Calgary, well, then you're putting
Well,
together
the Wednesday, Thursday, it's they're
the
switching.
Wednesday, Thursday, they're switching no matter what. It's just figuring out who's starting the road trip. But no,
I think if Marty's going to go with Dobesh on Saturday, that's going to bring up a lot of unwanted questions. So I don't think it's going to be Dobesh, but I hope and pray to God that you guys are right, because I do hope that the next 4 games are split evenly right down the line, 2 games and 2 games for each of them. I would actually be kind of frustrated if it's going to be Monty, Dobish, Monty. Like I really think that's borderline unfair.
it's crazy how Nick Suzuki is tied with most points in the team, but he has 0 goals. 7 points in 5 games. Him and Cole. Except Cole's got 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points. It's so weird. That is so weird. But that, I think it just goes to show. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I love this comment by Christian. Putting a cack on it. Okay. That's actually here. This is a question for Christian. The Laval Rocket are having their home opener Friday night, which is tomorrow. Who are they putting? Are they putting Jacob Fowler or are they putting in Kakkonen? It is a long season. It's a long season, but this is what happens when the excitement level is pretty much through the roof early on. Like even me, I got to remind myself, like, yo, chill, take it easy. But like, I'm trying to call what we see tonight in the heat of the moment and how it could lead to the next game. That's what I'm trying to express, I guess. Go ahead.
No, never mind. I was going to say
you got me all excited for what now?
Because I was looking at the so I thought Dobesh had a winning streak, and I'm looking at the beginning of last season. WWW, like, he had 5 games in a row that he won, but I thought that was the ending. I flipped it. Anyways, sorry about that. I was going to say that he's in a long winning streak, but he lost his last. In April, he lost 5 games in a row, and then he won, and then went to postseason. So, anyways,
Okay,
scratch everything I wanted to say.
No, it's a good problem to have so far. That's what I think.
Look, I think right now the only thing we're missing to fix is the power play, because everything else we somewhat are on the right track. I'm not saying we're perfect, but we're going the right track. And imagine if we have a strong power play. If our power play clicks, our team is unstoppable, boys. It is. If we're scoring these goals on a 5-on-5, imagine.
Yeah. I like what Shane said over here, that they expect to win. These are games they expect to win. Yes, Leafs and the Oilers are only playoff teams they face for the month of October, obviously. And this is this kind of goes with what I said. Like, definitely happy what we're seeing, how they're winning these games compared to last year. These are probably games they're losing by that 1 goal. But I also want to see how they play against these playoff teams. Listen, the season opener against Toronto, let's call a spade, like Chris says. Montreal was almost the better team that game. Montreal played. They played very well. They played very well. I want to see how they play. I'm curious to see how they play against the Oilers. I want to see how they play against Vancouver as well. New York, they're supposed to be a playoff team. It's not really going well for them. They got a bunch of deeper shit that's going on, but no, it's when it comes to face, the Capitals, the Dallas Stars, one day, even though it's in the West, Colorado, like those are. I like this comment, but those are the teams that we really want to see how the Canadiens are going to face again. It's going to happen. It's going to come down further down the line, I guess, further down the season. But nope, so far, man, these are still big points. These are still big points.
100%.
These are still big points, man.
No, look, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Well, I was going to ask a question to you guys also too. Big points. We're also coming up with a very big player, Mr. Rempe. With playing the New York Rangers on Saturday, is Jack Eye going back in? How did you find Jaden Struble? I thought he had a great start to the game, and he tapered off as the game went along.
So I'll just say what I witnessed. I don't know if you guys noticed the same thing, but I found, again, I'm not shitting on him, but Dobson did not have a good game today. He had a lot of bad moments.
The only Ant, I'm gonna disagree. The only moment I think Dobson could have, the only play that Dobson I thought could have read better was the second goal by Nashville.
But I find that every time he was on the ice, from what I noticed, they had opportunities to score those moments.
Yeah,
and again, I'm maybe generalizing it, but
his stick checking is better than what we've been used to.
100%.
For a while.
Look,
I still believe he's still nursing that growing.
I think he's growing and trying to fit in the team, and I get it.
No. I'm talking about growing injury. I'm not saying he's growing. I still think he has a growing injury, and for sure he's still trying to adapt to this team. But
back to
I don't think it's gonna take too long for him. Yeah.
No, I hope he turned things around. But back to Chris's question, I liked how Struble played today. I think he played very well. But the missing factor tonight for a big team like Nashville was Arbor. So I think Arbor needs to come in on Saturday. And that's another thing that I felt we are missing against teams like Nashville who are big. We have the talent, boys, and we have the speed, and that's how we scored that fucking tying goal with the speed and the beautiful pass from Hudson to Caulfield, and you have a goal scorer.
Did he look like Tom Brady there, Ant? Being a goaltender, turning from goaltender to quarterback?
That play was just beautiful. But we have the speed, we have the talent, guys. We are lacking that size. Nashville was very big, and the goals that we scored were in moments of that speed. They weren't the crashing the net. You know what I mean? So we were getting hit a lot, and we need more size in our team. And I know it's coming. I know management is seeing this, and I know that they're missing that, and they know they're missing that. So to answer your question, Arbor needs to play Saturday, and I hope management is looking for bigger players.
We're going to go into a question period to end off the episode. So everybody that tuned in, thank you so much, whether it's on Twitter, or also known as X, or YouTube Live. Thank you so much. Send in your questions. We will show them on the show, and we'll try to answer them as best as possible. We did get a couple of thoughts and questions on Instagram, so we're going to start on that platform while everybody that wants to participate is going to type in their question.
Oh, before you start that, I just want to say one thing. I forgot his name. There's a fan that came up to me at the Bell Center from Nova Scotia. Big fan. He follows us. He listens to all our episodes. He downloads our episodes on the plane. Forgot your name, so I'm very, very sorry. But I just want to, if you're listening to this episode, we spoke. We met up at the Bell Center today. Thank you for your love and support. Just wanted to say that. And to all our listeners and fans out there, thanks for all your love and support, boys.
I love you so much that we forget your names in a few minutes. Anthony, no good.
All your
good. You have a task next episode. We're tasking you with going back and.
I think his name was Sean.
We're going with Sean.
You have to remember his name. Sean.
Nova Scotia
Sean.
Nova Scotia Sean, we love you. A big shout out and big love to our Habs fans from Nova Scotia. So Vitherson asks, is it too early to dissect the team's strengths and weaknesses? I mean, I think we kind of did already. It's. I don't think we're dissecting. I just think we're calling it as
we're calling it as it is.
We're calling it as it is, and I think right now I think the question mark, and it's not a big question mark for shits and giggles. We were talking about the goalies, but I think maybe the only I'll screw it, for lack of a better term, I'll call it question mark, is the power play. I think it's like, do we still want to see this? Let him cook. Yes, we had that in the comments. It's an 82 game season. It's still long. Absolutely. We're just calling it as it is right now in this very moment. Tomorrow, probably Saturday, power plays are going to stay the same. Maybe both units are going to get a goal each on 2 different power play occasions, and then we're going to be like, no, keep it. Just for we're Habs fans. That's what we do, right? But for now, no, I don't think it's not so much dissecting the team's strengths and weaknesses, just calling it as it is. But like, there's a major improvement everywhere. I think all 4 lines have chemistry. I think the penalty kill is amazing. I think the power play, there's still great flashes on that power play. So I don't think it's too early to dissect. Let's give it a couple games. After 15, 20 games, maybe we can dissect. Mateo _ Di Loretto. How can Gally go from a bottom 6 to the top 6 player after acquiring Bolduc and Demidov? Is that line really a top 6? Is Bolduc, Duck, and Gallagher a top 6 line? I don't know. I think I'm under the impression that Kapanen, Demidov, and Uhook are maybe that's. I don't know. I don't know who the second line is.
I
don't know.
I even questioned that tonight.
Maybe that's the question. Line? Maybe that's the question. Here, Joey Chestnut says it. That's the question. Who's the second line? Who's the third line? We only know who's the first line and who's the fourth line.
Let me go get that question. Question.
So here, Shane wrote the best one. They're all third lines except for Nick's line. Nick's line. That's funny. All right. And the last one by, I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing this, Aged Surza. Sorry. Imagine Montreal makes playoffs to face against Tampa Bay in the first round. Oh, 2021 revenge. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I hope so. Now I want that to happen.
I'm craving, I'll be honest with you, more than a Montreal-Tampa, I'm craving a Montreal-Boston series. It's been way too long.
It's been way too long.
Yeah, but maybe it's not even going to be close. I don't know.
It might not be close.
I don't
Boston
know.
has been off to a good start, and I think everybody's looking around like, what the hell? Weren't they supposed to be bad?
I don't see it lasting, though. But again, it's way too early. Yeah, so look, if anybody here has questions, I don't know if I see any. Here. On power play 1, Demidov replaces Bolduc or Slav if Marty stops being patient. There you go, Chris. This one's for you. This one's for you, Chris.
I know I said Slav in the first in the first part of the episode, but I will go with Bolduc. I do think that Marty's a firm believer in keeping his 5-on-5 lines as intact as possible. You see it on the penalty killing, Evans and Anderson, Kapanen and Newhook. I would not see why they would take Slav off the first power play. I know Bolduc is having a great start to the season. He's scoring more goals. I will even say this, as much as Slav would stay on that line tonight, Slav on the power play, stop the puck. We've been seeing him shoot these one-timers. I spent 8 hours at the Brossard practice facility watching Slav take one-timers from the top of the face-off circle where Kovalev used to park. Slav is in that position, got a good pass, and for some reason stopped the puck and then took a missed shot.
I know which player you're talking about. Yeah,
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly which power play you're talking about, and I want to see him one-timer it because I think he can. I think he could wire it. But one thing we don't do, and this is Joey Chestnut's comments, is we're not screening the goalie enough. He needs to be there.
Thank you, Joey.
He's right on.
That's perfect.
I couldn't agree more. But this is why I'm wondering if you put, and again, I don't want to see Demidov get separated from Liney because I think he's the only person that
have a good connection. They have good chemistry.
They do, and that's why I don't want to see them separated. But I don't know. I think I want to. If you're gonna put somebody on
Thank
the
you,
first
Shane.
power play, yeah.
Sorry,
Shane's a good follower. Shane's we have some good discussions on Twitter. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Have a good night, Shane.
Outstanding
We're
comments,
gonna
Shane.
we're gonna call it quits soon too. But yeah, no, I really think if you're gonna put Demidov on the first power play unit, I think Slav goes on the second, and I want to see Slav just park his ass in front of the goalie. I love Gallagher and I love what he does, but he's not the size and the height of Uri Slafkovsky. Like Gallagher, he's fantastic though in front of the net to crash and be that distraction. We need bigger bodies in front. So that's all I got. But otherwise, man, what a win!
Start to the season, and
what
I
a
just
win nonetheless. We're gonna take it. We're gonna take it.
I'm
man,
gonna
and we're
take
gonna be
it.
excited.
Look, I just like my friend was telling me on the drive home, if we can get 6 out of 10 points every single block going forward, 6 out of 10, 6 out of 10, I'll be happy with that. No more losing streaks like last year, those 8 to 10 game losing
can't
streaks.
happen.
We can't have those. We can't have those. If we can get 6 out of 10 points every week, we're on the right track.
If we're looking for progression with the lineup we have now, we cannot have those losing streaks.
No,
it can't. It can't. If they want to be ready for the playoffs, and I know Shane said way too early to discuss playoffs. It's a long ass season, but the last thing we want to do, and we discussed this before, and we'll end it on that. We don't want to see this team having to fight for the last 20 games to the point of being somewhat tired come playoff time. They can't.
And not only that, speaking of tiredness, as much as I love the character wins like tonight and like against Seattle the last 2 games, fun to be at the game. Let me tell you, I was at both games, and what an experience to watch that type of hockey. But it cannot be sustained all season long. We need to win games like we beat Detroit, right? Because
1,000%. I wish Zook was here to see this comment.
because if you're gonna keep,
I totally agree.
Because being down a goal with 3-4 minutes left of the game, you're keeping your best players on the ice, which you're tiring them out. You want to be able to have a lead of 5-2 or 4-0 or whatever it is to rest your high, like your goalies, your Hudsons. You don't want to put them on the ice for 25 minutes because you need to tie that goal. You know what I mean? You got to rest these players because they cannot sustain 82 games like that.
It's just more. It's you run the lesser risk of injuries. Like I hope Caden Gooley's okay. I haven't.
I think he came back on the ice, didn't he?
He did, but I don't remember seeing him play much afterwards. Go, Chris. You really wanted to say something?
No, what you're saying, Anthony, I completely agree. In principle, the more rested that they can be, the less taxation at the end of the game, the most intense battles when the game is close. Sure, but I do like when you were saying that there was one thing that came clear to mind. Am I crazy? It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel as though they're chasing the game as much. And when I say chasing the game, again, it's more like they're never out of it and really having to say, "Oh, guys, okay, guys, let's get back."
It's different.
Let's
It's a
get
little
back to
different.
this."
Yeah,
It's
I see.
different.
It is different, but it's a long season, guys. It's a long season. 4-1, the Canadiens as they head towards Saturday night to face the New York Rangers, folks. Friday night, the Laval Rocket, they have their home opener at Place Bell in Laval. I am definitely going to be watching that game, paying attention to some of our prospects down in the minors. I'm ready to wrap this up, boys. It's getting late. I think I worked.
I literally came straight to the computer. Wife and kids were waiting.
You wanted to be on this podcast more than you want to be at the Bell Center. Just admit it, buddy.
I fucking ran out. Yeah. So awesome. Much to talk about, I'm sure.
Awesome. No, listen, a big thank you to everybody who tuned in on this live post game show on YouTube or Twitter, also known as X. Thank you so much for your participation, for your comments, for your questions. This was a lot of fun. Let's just hope the Habs keep winning. Let's just hope, like Cole said, at the end of the game, let's just keep those games shorter. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Les Délices Lafresnaye, Habs Cave, and Mike's Barbecue Rub. You can follow them all on Instagram. Visit their websites. You can also follow them on TikTok. All of our episodes are available on audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, any podcast platform. Please follow the Curfew Boys on social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. If you like what you see and what you hear, give us a follow. It's absolutely free. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and most importantly, tell your friends about us. All the way out in Nova Scotia. That's great. Let's take it out to the west, all the way out in Vancouver. There's Habs fans everywhere in Canada, even in the United States. Like I said, it is absolutely free. You could, and I think I just mentioned all of our podcast platforms. Boys, what a win! What a
Beautiful.
win! What a dramatic win! Like I'm punching the air with pure happiness. Chris, thanks for joining us. Anthony, thanks for coming on the most important part of your evening. Truly appreciate it. Happy you made some friends, some fans at the Bell Center. We'll see you all Saturday night against the New York Rangers. Until then,
Bye now.
bye now. Good night.
Dynasty.